I don't hear nothing. Wait for it.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you let me know? How are we doing? We all right? Yeah, is everything working? That's what we need to ask. Is everything actually working? Goedenavond, Hadewig. Goedenavond. De klok slaat 9. Yeah, we've started. 8 here. Mandy, how are you doing? You alright? Ow, stings. Greetings and salutations. Saf, how you doing, bud? Nice to see you. Hoor je en zie je. Goed zo, goed zo. Yep, nice little intro. Mash o'clock already. I was, I thought it might be nice to have a little bit of an intro. Something a bit different for a change. Yeah, so I might mess around with them as well. And also I need to make another trailer, I think. Something a bit different. Mix them up a little bit. Plus I like doing all that stuff. As daft as it sounds. It's very enjoyable. I love the tech side of things. Apart from when Jeff starts pissballing about, ruining everything by pressing buttons. You know what he's like. So how are we all doing? Are we all fantastic? I know we're all fantastic. What I mean is, are we all fantastic? Are we full of the joys of spring? Seth, you're a bit upset. You drew 1-1 with Supersport United, losing ground on the top two. Sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry to hear that. Better luck next time. Hopefully, start getting some of them points back. You'll get there. George Michael there. Gotta have faith. Botrix has correctly joined the channel. Yep. I made sure I sent a message from Twitch. I can do it myself because it's on my own bloody channel. Never thought of that. Which has obviously kicked it in. Super busy day. You've been working overtime. Terrible. I mean, the extra money's always good. Or the extra hours, depending on how you do it. We in our place, we've got flexi. So you can build up extra hours. You can't actually work overtime because it's there's no overtime available. You can build up hours and take time off other places during the week or during the month. Had Willem Alexander over, so he had an extra hour break, but still the same amount of work, right? So there's no getting away from it. When does footy season finish? It finishes in May. The Championship and Premier League seasons finish in May. I do believe it is it European Championships this year, the Euros. So during the summer there will be international football. There's a tournament. So England will be playing. There'll be no escaping it at all, unfortunately, Mandy. You gave your season ticket to a friend so you can skip the game and do a premiere, and they do this to you. Yep. No thanks whatsoever. Terrible, isn't it? How did it go? I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I would normally try and make sure I am, but I had to do a lot of running around before this, unfortunately. Including having a shower because I need to make sure I'm all clean and tidy for you. And also a bit of this, that and the other. Ball ache. But hopefully I've made sure the moon is fully charged. The colours don't look like the colours they should look when I sorted them out earlier on. So I think Jeff's been pissing around with the colours, so it's gone back to Norwich for Steve again by the look of it. Yeah. Yay, yes, Mandy. Seeing as though you brought up footy. Oh, Jeff, come on, man, don't start pissing about. I need to have a look whether Stream Deck needs updating. I haven't done that for a while. Sometimes it needs updating with newer firmware. It needs something because it's starting to act a maggot. Very strange. Colours look better than last time. They look a bit more colourful, don't they? Rather than just red. It's supposed to be teal and orange, which is the traditional YouTuber colour, apparently, but that's not teal and orange. It looks more yellow and green. Look, when I was over there earlier on, where it's dark, they looked fantastic. They looked the exact same colour that I wanted. But no. Put me out window slightly more as well. It is red hot in here yet again. Does your king have legislative power? Right. Kirsty, how you doing? How's things? You alright? Right, so he doesn't... You'd kick him out if he would have. You can't say anything or have an opinion about anything without the government's approval. So it's more of a sort of a nominative king. Head of state in name only, really. Pretty much the same as ours, because even when the Queen was alive, there'd be all kinds going on in the government where she couldn't possibly say, yes, this is acceptable, but she went, yeah, go on, get on with it. Ridiculous. He gets paid $6 million a year and his wife gets another $1 million. Nice work if you can get it, I think the phrase is. Just relaxing, Kirsty. Good to hear it. As you should be on a, what day is it? Wednesday. I actually knew what day it was this week, but I thought I'd ask anyway. You know, traditions and that. His mum also gets $1.5 million per year. That's the business to be in, isn't it? Especially if you've got a big family. Get them all in. Get them all on the payroll. Casper, evening. How you doing, mate? His daughter gets $2 million as well. Jesus, fucking hell. I bet your Christmas is fantastic round their house, isn't it? Opening the presents and everyone's bought each other yachts and things. All because they were born somewhere. To someone. We're all born somewhere. We're all born to people. There is no difference between royalty and us. His mum used to be queen. She took quite a cutback, yep. Is that Koning and Beatrix? Is that the mum? Adam's mug. Yep. The mug plus the coffee of Adam. Charcoal Coffee Company. The link is in the description below, as always. Go and check it out. Some fantastic coffees. I can definitely recommend the Ethiopian geisha coffee, or geisha coffee. Marvellous stuff. Marvellous. It does look tiny compared. I hope you're still talking about the cup, Mandy. Otherwise, I'll be crying myself to sleep tonight. Yep, not too bad, Cass, but not too bad at all, mate. I had one of them strange days today. Yeah, Beatrix, I remember well. Yeah, very, very... It's been a strange week so far. I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday, but one of the days I had to wear my sunglasses on the way to get my daughter in the morning. And that's the first... Plenty of times I've got to her house and waited for 6 months for her to come out. I've had to wear sunglasses taking her to college, but on Monday I think it might have been, that was the first day where I've had to wear them leaving the house to go and get her. So it's definitely, spring is in the air, it is just round the corner. Yes, I was waiting for her this morning. I phoned her to make sure she was awake, which I try and do every morning. And then I got a phone call as I was just round the corner from hers. It was Dad, are you here yet? I'm just round the corner. She went, alright, great. And I was still on the phone when I pulled up and went, right, I'm here now. She went, brilliant. I'll be out in 2 minutes. So, okay, I'll see you in 2 minutes. She said, you can time me. It's alright, I'll time you. 10 minutes later, she wandered out. It's like, what? You've got no clue, have you, about time at all? But I picked her up as well and took her home from college this afternoon. And we had a little bit of a conversation about timekeeping, because you'll need to do it when you go to work. If you're constantly late, you get sacked. If you get sacked, you don't get money. If you don't get money, you don't get a car. You don't go out with your mates, nothing like that. So it's quite important. Hopefully the penny is starting to drop with her, because she knows it's, you know, I'm not going to keep on putting my hand in my pocket all the time for her. Bone-eyed, lazy bastard needs to go out there and earn the Dwayne Eddies. Plus we had a good conversation yesterday as well on the way home. Was it yesterday? I'm losing track. Wasn't it yesterday? I think, yeah, yesterday when we were talking about she doesn't want lip fillers. She's 17, she'll be 18 in April. Yeah, I've gone off having lip fillers. Why are we even thinking about having lip fillers? So we had a conversation about unrealistic female body types and magazines trying to show things that you can't possibly ever achieve. It's stupid. Hopefully she's not like that. She's a bit more wised up, I think, thankfully. So there will be no arse lift, no lip fillers. She just dyes her hair all the time, so I'm quite happy with that. False nails and a hair dye, I don't mind. Time is just relative. Yep. She does need a car when I'm still here, Hadavik, because I'm not carrying around all over the place. She wants to go cruising with her mates. She wants a 4-door car so they can all get in. So they can go to Mackey's drive-through and things like that and cruise. You can't really cruise around Southport. It's a place for getting to places. Although they do, I mean, obviously if you're a teenager, you go to Mackey's car park and then do burnouts and annoy people. Hopefully she won't be like that. Casper, the day is up by 3 hours and 33 minutes. You can definitely feel it. Can't be long until spring arrives. You can smell it. You can smell the spring in the air. Definitely it's got its own, say, I don't know, the scent of spring is not far away. I love it. Barbie doesn't help, Kirsty. No, it doesn't. That unrealistic ideals. It's just, you know, I was talking to her about things like some of the Kardashians and some of the women that you see on Instagram. There's a great phrase for it, Instagram alien face, which I thought was perfect because they don't look human, don't look remotely human. The ones with the weird shapes as well. I don't like having a go at women. I hate it. But those ones that have got just the maddest, widest hips, massive arse, tiny stomach. What on earth is this? It's not human. Humans don't look like that. You're supposed to have wide hips for childbirth, obviously, but it just, no, it doesn't look remotely normal. And I've been watching, and I hate that word normal as well, I've been watching loads of old films, 1930s, 40s, 50s and 60s, and just seeing women looking like women used to look, not having to try too hard, not looking like a racing bike, not looking like pin thin, just looking like normal women. Again, I hate using the word normal, but you know what I mean. So that's what people should be looking towards. They look healthy. They look healthy and happy, and actually human. Get earning all the mates Oyster cards. Yeah, the Oyster card doesn't work outside of London. We haven't got one of those yet. There is something, isn't there? Has Manchester got one? Or Birmingham? Somewhere's got a lobster card as well. Similar kind of thing. I wish we get the same thing as London. A daily rate where you pay, you can go on as much as you like and it up to a certain level, and then it maxes out. And all you need is your bank card. Tap in, tap out, and it'll automatically work out how much to charge you. That was so handy going down to London doing that. Yeah. Oyster cards for London. Everybody made fun of Leslie Ash when she had her lips done. Now it's the norm, yeah. She looks like she'd been knocked out though, didn't she? Look, she's been absolutely battered by Lee Chapman, which actually she had been, but yeah, it looked stupid. They look like, remember the girl in the Muppets? In the band? Do you remember that? Janice, her name was. Even back in the 70s when he first came out, the Electric Mayhem, this is what she looked like. Isn't that pretty much what about 99.9% of women in Liverpool especially look like these days? It's just stupid, man. And it's not done to attract a man. It's not done to attract anything like that. It's to impress other women. So again, I was having this conversation with my daughter. Don't think that you need to impress anybody. Feel happy in yourself. Be healthy and happy. That's all you need to be. And the right people will come looking for you. Definitely not the other way around. Hopefully she'll take any of that on board, because I hate it. Having a daughter of that age, knowing all the time anything that's on the TV, anything that's on or in magazines and things, it's just completely unrealistic and unattainable. It needs to stop. Saw someone with lip fillers the other day and it looked like a slug took a rest on the upper lip. Casper, you want to come to Liverpool, mate? It's the look. Everyone is orange. They've all got lip fillers. Nobody has got a wrinkle, not a single person. And it's stupid. And the worst thing about it is, years ago, I don't know, the 80s, maybe 90s, rich old women would pay a fortune to look like young girls. Now we've got young girls who are paying a fortune to look like rich old women paying a fortune to look like young girls. Because it doesn't look real. It's just stupid. I hate it. Hate it, man. My sister and my niece have got lip fillers and things. I'm like, do you really need them? Seriously. Chill, man. There's only one station on the London Underground that isn't in London where you can use the Oyster card to get into the city. Which one is that? Would that be Watford or somewhere? The Muppet has the same amount of plastic in it as Katie Price. Yep. Keep getting told that we need to keep plastic out of the ocean, but just keep Katie Price out of it, and then the job's half done, isn't it? All the little fishies will be alright. Wonder if they'd recognise themselves in the mirror. Knowing quite a few girls in Liverpool, I think they would spend a lot of time in mirrors. Not just ones stuck up on the wall either. Horrific. They must do. In the same way that us old people, we don't see us old people, do we? I'm 51 in 5 weeks, whatever it is. I still see a 23-year-old in the mirror. Although, to be fair, I might be looking out the window next door. I've been told to stop that before the police turn up. Do those women get cremated or recycled? I think they are like Barbies, aren't they? Once they're dead, you just rip the head off and give it to someone else. If someone needs a new arm, take that off. Definitely. They will be recycled. A bit like Barry Sheen. Remember him, the motorbike rider in the 70s and 80s? He had that much metal in him. He had pins in his knees and his ankles and his legs and screws everywhere. He couldn't go through an airport scanner because it just set it off completely. They were saying with him, if they tried to cremate him, you'd be able to hear it jangling afterwards. Botox comes from rotten sausage. That's enough for you. I did not know that. I knew it was botulinum toxi, whatever it's called. So I knew it was botulism. I didn't realise it was from rotten sausages. Maybe that's what the lips end up looking like, don't they? Rotten sausages. You met Katie Price back when she was Jordan. She was really nice. I've heard that. Very nice to a lot of men. Again, do you know what? I'm not even asked. I don't like what she does, but she's made herself a lot of money on the back of it. If that's what you want to do, you don't need a fella doing it for you. Go and make yourself a few quid. I just don't like the example that she sets. I don't like the example that a lot of these influencers. It's going to sound stupid, me on YouTube talking about influencing people. We've had these things before, haven't we? Are we influencers? like the Instagram influencers especially, that influence they have on kids, it's completely unrealistic. A very, very, very small minority will end up going to Dubai and taking pictures of the dinner all week. It's not your average person. I don't mind the YouTube creators. I used to hate all that. But how can that possibly be a job? And now that I've started doing bits and pieces of it, it can be. And you have to put a lot of effort into it. You're not just taking a picture of something and lashing it up on a screen and telling people this is what your life could be like. It's not. You can come on here and tell people actual things. Like, be careful of what you eat. Be careful of what you drink. Otherwise, your head might explode as well, like mine. Epping Forest. Ah, right. I've got a friend who lives in Waltham Abbey. I think we came through Epping Forest when she picked me up. And then going back into London, went back that way. I'm sure that was where she pointed out it was a really, really infamous dogging spot. Oh, man. The Battle of Epping Forest by Genesis. I didn't realise it was all about that, but there you go. Watford's still in the Greater London area, is it? Right, I didn't. I thought it was outside. I just thought it was in Hertfordshire, outside the M25. Mind you, I don't know. London's changed a lot since I was last there. Mandy, you are not a man. Well, you are partly, aren't you? Everything before DY. Casper saw a documentary once where a murder victim was identified by the serial number on a breast implant. I think I've seen that as well. It's one of those weird things. There was a really good documentary series about stuff like that. About weird things to do with technology and the future. How people are getting caught with the cell phones and mobile phones pinging off masts. Weird little things. I think that was definitely one of them as well. Stupid people using cards to pay for go and buy a coffee on the way to go and buy bin bags and shovels and things, and you could tell exactly where they'd been, and they stopped somewhere else on the way to the murder. It's like pinpoint, step by step from your house to the murder place, and then ding, 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 all the way back home. You can tell exactly where you've been. Stupid. Oyster cards are only usable within the TfL zones and down to Gatwick. No Oyster card is a London specific product. It can only be used on national rail services. Yeah, in the Greater London area plus a few specific routes outside. I did get one when I was working in London quite a lot. Having to go down there for meetings and what have you. Most of the meetings were in Euston, so I'd just get off the train and walk around the corner. But then we started having a few in near Waterloo Station and near Victoria, and then a few in Croydon as well. So I ended up getting one. Very strange. The amount of people in Liverpool in our building that had Oyster cards because they had to go to London that often. There must be people like that all over the UK. If you regularly have to go there for business, it makes sense to have one. You're not arsing around, you're not struggling looking for change, you're not looking for your tickets and what have you. Just take your card, it'll all be sound. I've been to Gatwick, but I've never been to me. Never been to Heathrow. We went to Los Angeles in 1980 and we flew from Gatwick. Mad. Not Heathrow, bloody Gatwick. Zucchini sliced to participate in pneumonia. Sounds painful. No one wants the zucchini sliced. The Greater London area looks huge, but have you seen the Greater Tokyo area overlaid? Yeah, I have actually. That's what really puts it into perspective. It's pretty much, Tokyo is, it's like a country, isn't it? In one little, not even little, An entire country squeezed into one area. It is crazy. California has a county that is bigger than Wales. Yep. Again, California is absolutely enormous. And I don't think we realise it. You think about it on a map, it's just that little tiny skinny bit on the side, isn't it? It's not. It's just fucking huge. Long and thin. Like Instagram models. Very random, but I like it. I like stuff like that. Gives us more of an idea as well, doesn't it, about what the world is like. Jinxie, how you doing? Listening in, good to hear it. Wonder if Callan has arrived yet. I've not seen on the gram. I'm sure we'll see some pictures once he does. That cup does look tiny compared to the other one, doesn't it? Jinxie Jacqueline, yep. The Docker's Delight. The Dervish of the Devonish. It was going to be about 9:30, right. We'll keep an eye out for him. When you were talking to him at Stupid O'Clock, that was during the night. What brew am I sipping on? Saf, that is Charcoal Coffee Company. And it is Ethiopian Geisha coffee. Which is really, really nice stuff. It's got a bit of a citrus hint. Very, very nice aftertaste. Yeah, about another hour. Ali, how you doing? How's things? How's it going, la? California is bigger than the UK and Ireland combined. And slightly longer, as in several hundred kilometres. Yep. It is a big, big place. We took the short journey from LA to San Diego. Looks very, very short when you have a look at it on the map. Talking about 6 hours to get there. All on the freeways. It was just mad. Yep. Slanger, Skull, hey, good afternoon. Prost. Nice one, la. Just having a quick check on the footy scores there, like, you know. Yeah, until it slides into the sea, of course. As half of California is destined to end up. Will it end up under the sea, or will it end up being like an island off the United States? And of course, when is it La Palma, is it? Gran Canaria. When half of that collapses, which is due to do at any time, then it'll provide a tsunami so big it will wipe out the eastern seaboard of the United States, which is a very, very grim thing to think about, isn't it? It'll be even thinner than it will, which I think is California's end goal, is everything to be as thin as possible, including the coffees. Everything's a fucking skinny latte and things, isn't it? Just watch the etching. Fantastic stuff, isn't it? I was talking to Saf yesterday, actually. We had a little bit of a conversation on DM. Just there's loads of stuff you can do. Loads and loads of stuff. So I would suggest, if anyone's got any ideas as well, what they would like to see, ask. I suggested if you're ever going to buy fish or any of the materials that you need, just do a little video around that, so people have got an idea of what it takes, not just looking inside the tank. This is what I need to do to keep them healthy, this is what I need to feed them on. I'm running out of fish. I need to buy new ones. Come with me. Let's have a look. And with the etching, the same thing. If you'd like to do etching yourself, this is what you're going to need. There's loads of stuff there. Loads of ideas. And then you'll accidentally stumble across some things that work as well, which is exactly what I did. Kept telling people I was going for a walk, and then one day I thought I'll take my camera with me, and then there was a couple of nice flowers on one of the walks, and people mentioned it, so then I went looking for more flowers, and then these ended up being flower walks, which I loved doing. I can't wait to do that again this year. I miss that. Even when I go on my little walks now, there's just very little colour. Green, but very little colour. Whereas during the spring and the summer, it looks glorious. There have been some daffodils, proper daffodils. I saw them the other day when I went for a walk to the top of the road and back. There's a house a couple of doors down which has got some really nice looking daffs outside the house. So it is getting closer. Spring is getting closer, definitely. Yeah, I thought so anyway. Just in my mind, what would I like to see? What was the kind of stuff that I'd love to see? I thought, well, I want to see the background to it. The same with most things, whatever kind of channel you got. Yeah, great. Like seeing your videos showing, like, this is what I do. Show me some of the background as well. Let me see behind the scenes. That was the couch to 5k, yeah. Piss and rain there, yep. Let's have a look. It was here earlier on. It seems to have calmed down a little bit. How do we your periwinkles are in bloom? Is that a euphemism? Self-praise is no recommendation and all that jazz. So if your Insta feed is full of crochet shorts. You had rain in the middle of it, so a wet, miserable evening. Ali, they're the best ones because that's as bad as you're going to feel. That's genuinely as bad as it's going to get. Get out there and get it done. When it's sunny, you've got to go to your local graveyard for some flower pictures. Yes, Kirsty, make sure you do. Jinxie, some snow for Friday, Saturday. Marvellous, can't wait for that. There you go. Mandy's posted the video. Thank you very much. Fantastic. I forgot to copy and paste all the links. I'm going to have to do that for next week. I have a document on my screen with just everything I can drop into. But thanks, Mandy, for doing that. I thought you were going to get snow the other day as it was cold enough. We had a really, really cold couple of days, didn't we? Felt really, really, really cold compared to what it had been. It only dropped by about 4 or 5 degrees, but I'd gone from a sort of okay to, look at this. Jackie, you're a technophobe. Nah, you're on here, man. You're chatting. You're in the chat. That's technical. So if you prefer to run in the cold and rain, all your best distant records were set in horrible conditions. Yes, because you're running to get home. I prefer playing footy in the cold and rain as well. Cools you down. That's the channel, not the vid. Good, because that way you can watch all the videos that are on there. Yep. North, man. East winds would skin you from your arse outwards. Fabulous stuff, isn't it? It's called a lazy wind. Where I come from, it's a lazy wind that goes through you rather than round you. It's a graveyard from the 1800s, maybe a little earlier. Does it have peace super fogs in there? Does it have old-fashioned policemen with big swirly moustaches? The pitch there was damp. Yeah, we'll be on it. Have I seen the pyramid tomb thingy in Liverpool? Which what? A with what? What, is there a pyramid tomb in Liverpool? Love old graveyards. Used to live opposite one. Ah, yeah. Jackie, did you go to Dundalk to see the Pleasure Boys? Tell us more. South, as a goalkeeper, you hate playing footy in the rain. You're the only one who's not moving. It's horrible, isn't it? Best running weather for Casper is 18. No wind and a slight drizzle. Marvellous. Steve, how you doing, bud? Watching a footy. 0-0 at half time. Neither team could score in a brothel. Marvellous. All sold out. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the footy scores as well. Even though we're not in the FA Cup anymore, so it doesn't really matter. Know what I mean? Some bloke playing cards with the devil. Jeff, do you know anything about this? He's gone quiet. He must do. Kirsty, you only run if you have to. Sounds a bit like James May off of that Top Gear. Said the same thing. Not going to run on camera unless I really have to. I would love to run. I can't. My balance is shagged, and to be honest, I've had my knee brace on all day because it is absolutely goosed. I think it's going to fall apart at some point soon. Did you paint your ceiling yet? Yep. Let us know, did you? I just forgot it was Lego's birthday yesterday. Oh man. Well, belated happy birthday to Lego. Should have made him a cake with some candles on it. Bone candles. Wanted to be buried sitting upright at a card table so the devil couldn't claim his soul. Say what? How do I not know about that? Is this from like the 1800s, or is this literally one of those cosmic scousers from 2022? Lad, what it is, right? It's the 5G. What it does, it reprograms your DNA, right? And then one of these days, Good Morning Britain's going to send out a signal and you'll all go marching off to war, lad. Telling you. Read about it on the internet thing. Stars on your ceiling would be fabulous. Would, definitely. That's why I have my projector. I have that on most nights. Love seeing that. Ceiling's painted. Needs one more coat. Did Lego actually forget himself, or is he sitting there thinking, you shitbag? Get a mistake or something tomorrow. Oh, brilliant. Deserves that. Good old Lego. The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. Yep. That's that used to be on the jukebox in the pub that we had. That, and there was another song, Does Your Ring Hurt My Finger? Oh, sorry, Does My Ring Hurt Your Finger? Sorry. Which is it sounded wrong. Will you take it to a jeweller so it don't fit that tight? Does my ring hurt your finger when you go out at night? Just fucking mental. One of those mad American country songs where you're thinking, what on earth were you thinking when you're writing this, mate? Am I smoking something? Nah, Jackie, lad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, read about it on QAnon, mate. They're going to take over the world. They're going to take over the world, mate. They're killing people left, right and fucking centre. Charlie Daniels Band, that's the one. Brilliant. Cheers, Steve. Yep. The same story, really, isn't it, as Crossroads and Robert Johnson. Christa Berg did one as well, didn't he? The Spanish train still runs between Guadalquivir and Old Seville. Same kind of thing about playing cards with the devil or having a duel with the devil on musical instruments. Yeah, but Charlie Daniels Band, that used to be on all the time. That and Sweet Home, fucking Alabama, and Bye Bye Miss American Pissin' Pie, and Bohemian Twat City. All the long songs that the minge bags would put £1 in and make them last for an hour, and then put the same thing back on again. Fuckers. You don't have to be old to remember that. See, I know Tchaikovsky and Mozart and Bach, but you know, I'm not that old. Ah, Bach. I don't smoke anyway, Jackie. Stunts your growth. You know what I mean? Like. Although if I did, I wouldn't need such a big car, would I? Yep. Steve got the band straight away. It's a superb song as well. If you've not heard it, listen to it. The Charlie Daniels band or the Jack Daniels band, depending on how pissed you are. Hate people in the pub playing the same song over and over and over. Yeah, it used to be literally the same 4 songs for hour and hour and hour and hour and hour after hour. And then a few new ones came on. Shorter ones, thankfully, but the same thing. What was it afterwards? Open Up by Left Field with John Lydon. Summer Breeze, the Isley Brothers version. There's something else. It was just the same thing over and over. Please put something else on. And you could tell who was in the pub by what songs were on repeat. Cowboys and Angels by your own George Michael. That used to be on all the time as well. Don't mind that one. And there's a really shit Madonna one. I know they're all shit, like, but there's a really, really shit one that was on all the time. Like, please stop it. The Van Hunks had a smoke with the devil. He blew so much smoke and ran away from the devil on Table Mountain. So whenever it's misty on Table Mountain, is that what it is? The smoke. Devil went down to Georgia, yep. Take a guess at your age. You won't get offended. That's an invitation to offend you, really, isn't it? Kirsty says 40. Jackie says 40. Any more guesses? Mandy, you loved the Dukey in the pub. You had controlled the playlist, all rock classics. The jukebox, the jury. Ali, higher. Is that you, Ali? Is that you, or is that Bruce fucking Forsyth there? Higher. Yeah, Casper, absolutely right. 127. You have cracked the code. You know, the Fountain of Youth. 85. Half of that, 42 and a half. 45, Kirsty got it, there you go. I was going to say about 28. Youthful. But then again, I'm a smarmy bastard, aren't I? They say age is but a number, you're only as old as you feel, which I think is absolutely horrible because I feel like about 90 most mornings when I get up. Until I've had my jump leads, courtesy of the Charcoal Coffee Company. You are a mere spring chicken, correct? A chicklet. Yeah, if you live that long, let us all know. Hopefully there'll be a retirement home for YouTube chatters somewhere. We'll all be in it. No problem, Ali. Just everyone's young at heart as well. It's the best thing about this. You can tell everyone's got a similar level of sort of experience and things, but everyone's young at heart. There are some young ones amongst us as well. Like, I don't know why I said us, because obviously I'm not remotely us. Wazza's doing MOTD match of the day, is he? But at least his are quite at low level rather than Carragher's high pitched Your grandma said you're only as old, or you're as young as the person you're touching. You're only as old as the person you're touching. Which, yeah, not good really. Otherwise, Jimmy Savile will live forever. Wazza, sorry. Wayne Rooney. My dad knows Colleen's dad, I think it is. His dad used to own a pub under the bridge in Garston. McLaughlin. You laugh when you used to get ID'd, hand it over and you say sorry. Now you see, that speaks volumes. Obviously, you look very, very young compared to what you are. Obviously. I stopped getting ID'd when I was 15. Not 50, 15. Since then, never been asked, apart from once. And I think the person who was serving me was pissed in Asda. A proper older lady, must have been in the 70s. I think she was doing everything by the book, despite the fact that I was quite obviously way older than 25, which you'd have to ask for these days. Yeah, go on, here you go, girl. Let's sound, here you go. Don't worry about it. You've got to do your job. If they told you that you need to check people's age, check them, not asked. Your grandma had a very dirty mind. Then again, it runs in the family. Nothing wrong with that. Keeps you healthy, that. Yeah, Kirsty calls Steve Grandad, whereas we call him our lovable silverback. Doesn't happen now, but it did happen before. It only doesn't happen now because people know exactly not to ask anymore. Otherwise, you'd still be getting checked out. I think we all would, because we all look young. We all look young at heart. He says, trying to hide the grey in the beard. Not that it's a beard either. It looks like fell over on the carpet after eating jam butties, don't I? Yeah, Kirsty, we all like your grandma. Great having people like that in your life. Because you were ID'd until you were 27. Be thankful. If you're baby-faced, go with it. Enjoy it. Yeah, just listen to Charlie Daniels. Poor devil lost his fiddle. There was a lot of fiddling going on back then, though. Steve, see you later, mate. No worries. Enjoy the rest of the footy. Yeah, definitely. Great crack to see the face when they see the ID. That's very enjoyable. Are you sure you're over 21? Fucking hell, mate. It takes me half an hour to get out of bed of a morning. I make that much creaking sounds. I make sailors feel like, oh hello, what's happened there? Jackie, you have leveled up to level 7. Fantastic. We've had a level up, a level upper. Is that a level upper or leveler up? Can't even fucking speak again today. Woo indeed. Points in the bag. What are you doing? Let's have a look at the league table. Everyone's getting loads of points. Loads of points and levels on there. It's fantastic. Love to see it. Passed away about 8 years ago, maybe a bit longer. Oh, it's a shame. You had a guy ID you once, then laugh at your passport photo and start to right chuckle with some of the others in the line. Marvellous. Just what you need, isn't it? Points make prizes, they do indeed, at some point. I need a cheer thingy for level uppers, I do. This is the kind of thing that can be automated, but I'd rather it not. I would rather remind me later, someone remind me later to do that. I need to do a cheer for leveler uppers. Ladies, tomorrow is the 29th. Anyone going to be proposing? Nope, no from Mandy. Potatoes equal prizes. They do, but points equal potatoes equal prizes. Yeah, I don't think I'd be happy with that either, Ali, to be honest. I know from Ali, I know from Kirsty. Jinxie did it in 1992, never doing it again. Fair play, fair play. Saf, in one passport you look like a South American drug mule, on the other you look like a drug kingpin. Either way, there's some fantastic merchandise involved. I can well believe that, to be honest with you. Yeah, no chap's going to be lucky then. Fair play to yous. Don't think I'd be proposing either. Men are horrible, horrible, horrible people. An underdeveloped species. We haven't left the playground, have we? Throw in your Arabic name and then you've got a recipe for airport interrogation. Yep. I bet you hear the phrase touch your toes and tell me that you love me on a regular basis from people wearing sidearms. Just what you need. They love it, don't they? They absolutely love it, the airport people. That only bit of power they've got in their lives to try and make hell for people as much as possible. Stupid. Should nearly dress the part, definitely. Or dress yourself up as a Mexican bandit. Would you get away with going to customs in fancy dress all the time? Yes, Jackie, speaking from experience there, the thwack of a cold latex glove. How's the physio coming along? I've been moving my arm a lot more the last couple of days, trying to at least get it moving a bit more. So hopefully that's starting to work a bit better. And a couple of things I've been doing seems to be working a bit. There's a bit more movement, so I'm hoping that's moving in the right direction. I still need to push it a bit more, but I can't keep doing it to the point where I'm absolutely exhausted. It's finding that balance of getting it right where I'm pushing it so I'm getting better and then not leaving myself knackered to do anything else. But, you know, it is getting better, so I'm taking that as a good positive. You've got no one to propose to unless we count, us men. We all count. Everyone counts in large amounts. So if that's why you grow your hair and wear metal band t-shirts to throw them off. So then you just look like just a heavy metal fan. Check him that he's not stealing Monster energy drinks. Don't know if the heavy metal fans drink Monster. They look like they do. You like the saying, the only difference between men and boys is the price of the toys. Yeah. He says, sat here in front of a load of camera gear and audio gear and what have you. And a fucking hover drone. Yeah. Does seem to be a fact. Unless your toys have diamonds, of course, yes. That and erections, yeah. What's one of them? I remember one of them. I think I had one of them in the past. I take half a Viagra nowadays just to don't piss on my shoes. You know what I mean? I take the other one before bed so I don't roll out in the morning. You forgot to add a cat because you were being distracted by the said cat. Cats are very much a distraction, aren't they? We've got a boss one that occasionally appears in the back garden. He's one of the neighbours' cats, and he's just beyond brave. Doesn't care at all. Jet black with weirdy, greeny, bluey eyes. Fantastic. Looks very much like he might be Jeff's familiar. He looks like a devil worshipping cat. Or whips, yeah, whips and chains. Charlie Daniels died of a stroke. I've mentioned this before. I didn't know what to expect when I had my stroke because all the things I'd heard in the past, with the word stroke was normally preceded by guess who's died of a. Because people who had them back in the 70s, 80s, early 90s even, they all tended to die. So I'm lying on a stretcher being told you had a massive stroke. Oh shit. Here we go. It's curtains. I'll be planted by Monday, and it wasn't because we've come a long way since then, thankfully. Your cats are outside cats, strays. Outside cats just don't give a shit, do they? They're proper, like, you know, being there, seeing it, done it. Do you think this is bothering me, do you? Do you think this is bothering me? Get out the way, lad. The same as scouse pigeons and scouse seagulls. Just no messing around. You don't ask with them. Do you know where you live? Which is why they're always bombarding my car after I've had it washed. Bastard and things. So this quote on Facebook, when I die I want one of my friends to text everyone that came, thank you for coming. Yep, thank goodness. We have moved forward. And I was in the hospital within 40 minutes of it happening, so that thing about acting fast really does help. The quicker you do, they say the more of a person that you save. So hopefully they've saved quite a lot of me. Some of it I wouldn't have minded them letting die off, but you know, most of the good stuff I think I've kept. Apart from that using me hand and walking business, you know, all that useless shit. Your dad's dad died at age 59. It was mad, innit? And again, the age, I always thought it was people in the late 50s, 60s, maybe 70s that had them. No. I was 49 when I had mine. There's kids of them. Me good looks, yes, me good looks died as well, Jackie. Okay, now you couldn't punch putty uglier, could you? There was a scientific study done that showed that animals have regional accents as well. Yes, I know there was there's that Scouse cat, wasn't there? That was on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Sounded like it was meowing in a Scouse accent. Ali, yeah, no problem at all. No, the channel, believe it or not, this channel has been going since 2006. Only because when you've got an Android phone, you automatically get a Google account which gives you a YouTube account. And so I put some bits and pieces up there in 2009. A couple of videos, one of my dad playing football, and then some poetry and things, but I never really used it at all. And it was only in 2022 when I got out the hospital, I started finding I was watching more YouTube just to get myself through the day. I was getting bored watching TV. I was looking for something to entertain me a bit more. And that's when I stumbled across Embrace the Suck and then Arius and the Nation, and then found all these wonderful people. But I thought I was going to start up doing the videos around the stroke, hopefully to try and help people if possible. Because when I was lying there in the hospital, I had absolutely no experience of what a stroke is, what it does, how long it takes to get over it, what you can expect to happen to you, anything like that. Nobody I knew had one or had admitted to having one. I knew loads of people who had heart attacks and people who had cancer and people who had broken bones and everything. I knew exactly what they were doing, but nothing to do with stroke. So I thought, if I could at least do something where, if anyone else is in my position, there might be some answers, and also just something to look at and think, he's had one, and look at him, he's doing stuff now. He's going out, he's going for a walk, he's driving again, he's going back to watch the football, he's working full time. I am an example. It's not going to ruin your life. It is. It's not great. You can avoid it by not drinking too much, not having too much salt in your diet, and more importantly, checking your blood pressure. Speak to your doctor if it's high and things like that. But if you have one, don't think it's the end of your life. Push yourself. Do what the people who know what they're doing tell you to do. Your physios, your occupational therapists, your doctors, and follow my example. So if anyone's out there looking at what the aftermath of a stroke looks like, it's this. You can also start a YouTube channel. You can show people what you're doing. You can, the same kind of things. It's just, if you don't know what's happened or you don't know what could happen to you, just watch a little bit of this and I'll let you know. You can tell your mate about it and your other mate about it and what have you. That's the whole point of doing it. Was just, why keep it to myself? When hopefully, if I can help one person avoid having a stroke, then mine will not have been in vain. Yeah, I always try and help out, which is where the name Positive Mental Attitude came from as well. I was known for being very positive in the hospital, and every time the therapists and physios come round, it's like, does anybody want to do any physio? And everyone would go, no. I'd be the first one jumping up going, yeah, go on, I'll do it. Because I understood how much of an asset these people were to me. I've been given access to something that would cost me thousands of pounds at home, and they're willing to do it for nothing just to make me better. Fantastic. Yeah. Did the same. You started watching YouTube during lockdown. YouTube exploded during lockdown, so if the likes of myself and some of the other lads on here who do the videos, if we'd have started a couple of years before, and we would have got on the back of the lockdown coronavirus surge, and every one of us could have been making a bleeding fortune by now, but there we go. Yeah, doing brilliantly. Thank you very much. I'm trying to help people as much as possible. It's again, it's nothing to be scared of. It's something to be avoided and something not to be taken lightly, but it's not the end of the world. There you go, Jackie. Your granddad had a stroke twice and survived. As you did your elder sister, she survived it as well. The main thing I always say is, it's your blood pressure. That's what I didn't realise. I had high blood pressure, and we've got a blood pressure tester machine in the house. So stupid it is. Keep an eye on it. If it starts getting high, speak to your doctor. All of this could have been avoided if I'd have spoke to the doctor and just explained, my blood pressure's high. I know I've been drinking too much. My diet is not brilliant. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't. They could have told me to change my diet, cut down on the alcohol completely. A couple of tablets, and I'd have been sound. Instead, half my body stopped working, and you don't want that. You are inspired by St Nicholas of Southport. Thank you very much, Saf. You started putting out videos with the support of the RDA. That's exactly where I started, putting out videos with the support of the RDA, and I still retain it, which I'm delighted with. Thankfully, everyone in this community is so supportive. Not just with go on, do it, watching videos, giving you advice on what they would like to see. When you've got an audience of people that want to watch YouTube videos saying to you, what I want to see from you is this, listen to them. That's the main thing. They're always there with support. They'll be sharing links. If you look at the RDA, every time anyone does a live or puts a video out, it's always dropped in there. So it's they're fantastic people. I'm so pleased to be part of this community. You're all wonderful, wonderful people. I mean it most sincerely, folks. You really are. Marvellous. Fitbit, keeps an eye on it. Is that electric thing that goes around your hand, or is that this little pet name that you've got for someone who comes around occasionally and sorts you out like? RDA is the Ring Dinkers Anonymous. It's the Instagram chat that we have, all the community on here. If you're on Instagram, we've got a chat where everyone just jumps in and talks during the day. So it's a bit like this, but instead of having someone on the video talking, it's an Instagram chat. It's very, very interesting. Some very strange things go on in there, but it is good. It's a good way of connecting and keeping in touch with people. Would I have listened to the doc and he warned me? Would I have stopped drinking, etc.? If my blood pressure was high, yeah. If I'd have known that, because I know people have had high blood pressure and have ended up having heart attacks and things. And I'd be very, very worried about that. I wouldn't have stopped. I think I would have cut down on the drinking, because I knew deep down I was drinking too much anyway. But I don't think I would have stopped. I would have cut down on it, definitely. But yeah, I'm alright with my health. I'm quite alright at being honest as well with doctors. You know, when they come in and say, do you drink? Yeah. How much? Instead of saying, I have a couple of glasses of a weekend. Now I might have about 2 bottles a night. What? Yeah. Be open and honest, because they can say to you then, well, this is what it is that's causing you a problem. Where it should be, I have the occasional drink and a takeaway is a treat. No, I can't be asked cooking, so I'll order something in and I'll drink bottle after bottle of wine until I should be Italian, I should be Roman, I should be in a vomitarium. There's no history of it at all in the family. There has been with cancer, unfortunately. I think a lot of that was down to smoking and working in places with asbestos and dirt and smoke and things, you know what I mean, horrible 50s and 60s, grimy environments. So hopefully it's not that side of it's not genetic. There's been no history of real heart problems either. My dad had heart surgery because he had a rhythmic aorta, which they ended up having to cut him from the middle of his stomach all the way around to the other side, so they pretty much quartered him. Horrific. But he was an athlete, you know, he's a professional footballer, so he should have been fit. It must be something that's not congenital, not genetic. I think that was just something with him that he was a little bit unlucky. But my mum and dad both smoked a lot when they were younger. They both quit now and have done for quite a while. But, you know, we've had all that. My nan and granddad on my dad's side both died of cancer. My sister just got over breast cancer earlier on this year. So we've been unlucky when it comes to health. I think possibly as a family we could have done better about our health. But we haven't. We're doing much better now. Much better. Jackie, your grandmother's the only person you know who's died of asbestosis. It's mad, isn't it? We got told about our building. It's like a 1950s, 1960s. Looks like an old school. It's not. It's an old office building in Liverpool. And we got told it was full of asbestos. And one of the lads in there who was constantly trying to have days off sick started coughing. So I think I'm starting to feel asbestosis coming on. It's like, you dickhead, it takes 25 years to come out. Behave yourself. Yeah, never heard of anyone getting it myself either, but I know people have had all kinds of issues as a result of working in places that have got it, or working in places that are full of smoke. The docks, my granddad worked on the docks as well. Just, you know, horrific. Happened to Captain Dad too. You don't drink or smoke, Ali. Jackie, you smoke. Do you know what? If you smoke or drink, I don't think it's an issue as long as you don't do it to excess. That's the thing that with everything in moderation, I think you get away with. If you are hammering anything, that's when you need to start watching out because the body can't cope with it when it's overwhelmed with what you're doing to it. And I think mine was slightly overwhelmed with a little bit of work stress, a bit of unfortunate diet, and definitely too much alcohol. Like I said, I've not had a drink since 2022. I may well decide tomorrow that I'm going to have one, or I might not. Either way, it's not going to go back to the way it was. It might just be when I go to the match one week, I think I want to have a beer, and I'll have a beer, and that'll be it. But it's no big deal, you know what I mean? I just know it's never going to go back to the way it was. Shipyards. We had, yeah, people that worked in the shipyards. My granddad was a docker. People that work building ships or work on docks. It's just the amount of shite you were surrounded by constantly. You know, soot, asbestos, all kinds of stuff constantly getting into your lungs. Just, it's not good for you. Family originally from Belfast, yep. So obviously, majority of people in Belfast will know somebody who worked on the ships. In the same way in Liverpool, everyone knows someone who worked on the docks or went away to sea. What do I drink? I now drink alcohol-free red wine and lots of tea. I also still got a couple of bottles of Beck's Blue alcohol-free beer, and I had one accidental alcoholic beer in November 2022, and I was gutted because it was purely accidental. I didn't realise it had alcohol in it until after I'd finished it. It wasn't me blue, it was a normal one. But apart from that, I've been quite good. And it means that no matter what time of the day or night it is, if I get a phone call, I can just jump in the car and go and give my daughter a lift and things like that. Whereas in the past, I can't drive, I'm over the limit. And if I'm over the limit, I may as well get loads more down me. Kirsty, you smoke but you don't drink except maybe once or twice a year. That's the kind of thing that's not going to really affect you too much as long as you don't smash things to excess. You're born in Belfast, Jackie, that's what you should, yeah. Right. You don't drink either, yeah. Because of the medication that you're on. Yeah, I don't, not just because I think I'm better off without it. It's also because my balance isn't fantastic, so if I ended up getting a few too many, I would be falling over and injuring myself, and I can't put my left hand out to stop myself if I fall over, so I would end up really seriously hurting myself. There's just no point in it. But one of these days, you never know. I might go to the match, I might just decide on a hot day I'm going for a pint. But I drive to the match as well now, so that's another thing. I won't drink and drive. Because I'm a good boy. You don't miss it at all. It's surprising. I don't. It just became a habit, I think. It's what you do, isn't it? With a stressful day at work, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go home and I'm going to open a bottle of wine because that's what I do every single night. Well, no, that's not what you do. You don't need to do it. Don't need to do it to enjoy myself. Don't need to do it to sleep either. I'm sleeping better because I'm not drinking. It's mad. All the things that people said actually comes true. Once you stop, get out your system, your sleep gets a lot better. My mood was never bad anyway, but you know, some people's moods improve as well. People who drink and drive discussed it, yeah. We used to run pubs, and the amount of times you see people get absolutely wasted and then get in the car and you think, why? Just leave your keys here. Get a taxi, get one back tomorrow, and you can have them back. Stupid. Force a habit, Ali. It is absolutely force a habit. And it's just like smoking in that way as well. People don't do stuff like this because they enjoy doing it. It's always just, well, I started and now I can't stop. Does alcohol-free wine taste like real wine, Casper? It does actually. The one that I have, it's a German Merlot, and I like the taste of it. I know people will probably be thinking, why are you doing it? Just have a cup of tea or something. It's like having methadone or something. It's not. I don't drink loads of it either. I can have some nights where I'll drink a bottle and a half of it, but there's no alcohol in it, so I can do that. Other times I'll have one glass and I think that's enough. I don't need it all the time. It's nice to be able to sit there and talk to me dad down the other end of the room while he's drinking his normal wine, watching a footy or something, and it just feels like the old days, but I'm not getting wasted. Gobshites is what they are. Yep, absolutely. And it should be, if you get caught doing it, there should be a much tougher sentence, because if you're driving around in 2 tons of steel, it's a deadly weapon. Every bit as deadly as knives or guns and stuff. It's just, and you think you're in control, people aren't. And it just annoys me. There's no need for it these days. There's taxis everywhere. You've got Ubers on your phone. You can just click a couple of buttons and it'll be there within minutes. No matter where you are in the country, there should be taxis. And you can get to where you need to go. The following day you can go back and get your car if you need to. Mad. The old days, yeah. 4 years ago. The good old days. Bad old days, whichever way you look at it. Putting everyone in danger, not just themselves. Everyone. Road users. Pedestrians. My mate Neil got hit by a car, by a drunk driver. And had to have his leg amputated. And I just thought, he was the same age as me. I think we were mid-20s at that point. Early to mid-20s. And he's had his leg taken off. I think, why on earth? But what's he done to anyone? He's a lovely lad. Why has this happened to him? And then found out afterwards it was a drink driver. That's just horrific. Changed his life forever. I mean, he's a really positive lad as well. He looked at it like he could have been dead. So he just saw it as a positive that he wasn't. I thought, well, that's the way you've got to be, I suppose. And then when I was speaking to him over the phone, when he explained, I then spent about 2 hours doing every one-legged joke I could possibly think of, just to wind him up, and he loved it. Because everyone else wouldn't mention it, apart from me. So I needed that. I really needed you to take the piss out of me, because no one else will. Well, of course I'll take the piss out of you, me mate. Should be done for attempted murder, definitely. It is shocking as well, Ali, it really is. I just don't get it. I mean, it's different. I can understand, well, I can't understand at all, but people in the countryside where there's no public transport at all, so sort of, I can understand why you've done it. You shouldn't have done it, but I can sort of understand why you're doing it. People in the city, and ones who live, we used to have them in the pub that lived literally a 2-minute drive away. So you could walk there in the time it takes you to get in your car, put your stuff in the boot, take your coat off, get in, start it up. You could have walked home by now. It's stupid, pathetic. Taxi drivers used to do it as well. If you get caught, you lose your licence, you lose your job as well, and you won't get back on the taxis even when you've got over your ban, because people just will not employ you. It's stupid. Stupid. If you're watching, stupid. Don't do it. Jackie, your family would take the piss out of you for everything and anything. You mean anything. Yeah, that's the way it should be. I think it's also the best way of dealing with things. Again, that thing about just taking the piss and telling jokes about really horrible things, sometimes it's the only way you can deal with it. By making light of it or telling a joke about it, because to actually consider things that have happened, you'd never leave the house. It's horrific. But yeah, you've got to. And if you're anything like we are over in Liverpool, you will take the piss out of everything and anything, but only we can. If anyone else is doing it, there's an issue. No, you don't do it. We can take the piss out of him, he's our mate or he's our family. And it's always done through love, never out of malice or spite. Yeah, even when your sister had the stroke, the same thing. Yep, you'd have to. Exactly, definitely, Ali, exactly, yeah. You got to. I mean, I started off, I was using the hashtag melty face bastard myself. But I'll get in there before my family do. But I think that taking the piss shows you that you're loved. And you feel comfortable enough with people. You should do with your family, but also with your mates. If you feel comfortable enough to take the piss out of someone when they're at an all-time low, that's showing that person that you absolutely, you love them, you care for them. I've come all the way into the hospital just to take the piss out of you while you're lying there looking like a pretzel, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can tell, can't you, when someone's doing it, Ali? Yeah, absolutely 100%. When someone's doing it from a good place or a bad place, you can tell immediately. And I hope that when I do it, when I take the piss out of my mates, they realise it's always done. I'm sure they do. It's always done from the right place. It's done with love rather than hate. I'd be called Lead Balls. Lead Balls Nick. Gives you a tougher skin having family and friends like that. It does. I think it prepares you for life as well. My family certainly prepared me for life. That when you get out into the big wide world, you think, oh, life's really hard. You think, oh, no, it's not hard at all. Being in my family is fucking hard. This is a piece of piss. Speaking of a piece of piss, I'm going to have to start doing some stuff, aren't I? With it starting to get a bit late. I don't know why I came here tonight. Nick Horace and Kippers are shite. Oh, Jeff of our dogs. He's got the look there, hasn't he? The suit and everything. I'm a stream ruiner. Twisted stream ruiner. Yep. Definitely a bit of Keith Flint going on there as well. You may take my knives, but you'll never take my peeler. I don't know, what's that? Stove heart? No idea. No idea what's going on with him. The absolute whopper. In the coloured community, you take your biggest insecurity and make it your nickname, but it comes from a place of love. It does. Again, that's the same thing. If you wouldn't feel comfortable taking the piss out of someone at their absolute worst, you wouldn't do it. So it just shows someone that you feel comfortable enough with them to do that. Yeah, if you ask an Irish person for a favour, depending on the situation, if they say, I will, yeah, that means no. Yes, I'm quite famous for one of them as well. We shall see is normally my maybe, with a hint of nah. Not always, but sometimes. Yeah, we shall see. Don't hold your breath at that point. To the point where I actually start doing it now on purpose, even when I know full well I'm going to do something for someone. Yeah, we shall see. Oh, for fuck's sake. He means no. I love the Irish attitude anyway. Obviously being from Liverpool, I think most of our families will be Irish. So we've got a similar kind of way with words and a similar way of acting. Yep. It has gotten to the point where everyone is offended by everything, and I can understand sometimes that people deserve to be offended by things, but not everything should carry offence. Again, being someone who grew up in the 70s and 80s, we had to learn to deal with offence and just go, alright, fair enough. That's what you think. I'm not letting it affect me. I wouldn't be around now if I let things affect me that had, happened in the 70s and 80s. Your mum still doesn't know the real names of some of your friends. Yep. I've got a mate who I've known for 33 years. I only found his name out about 4 or 5 years ago. I'd only ever known him as Moose. And then years later I found out he had a very unusual surname. I went, that's the same surname as a girl who works in our place. Yeah, it's my daughter. Oh, folks, I've known your daughter for a decade. I've known you for 3 decades. And I didn't realise that was your name or that you were related. Mad thing, fam. Sam Smith. Oh, man. No. I can't stand Sam Smith. I think they are doing what they are doing purely for publicity, and it's having a negative impact on people who are genuinely struggling. Don't need to attention seek. If people are going through an issue, don't be piggybacking on it to make things worse for them. Yeah, listen to the tone. It's the tone that will give it away, and the body language. Casper, one of your uncles has on several occasions mentioned his nickname at school was Long Sack. That is a mental image I don't think any of us are going to get away from, are they? Some of your nearly 150 cousins found out what your dad's name was at his funeral. Jackie, he turns you. When he turns you, does he turn your stomach or does he turn you into, a different way? Yeah. Can't say I'm a fan. Definitely attention seeking. Yeah, there's a line you don't cross on fairness. If you go to a comedy show and they're renowned for certain things being said in an act, don't come out and say you're offended. Yeah, do not go and see the likes of Chubby Brown or someone or Frankie Boyle if you are a shrinking violet, because it won't be good. But you should know that. It should say on the tickets, if you are easily offended, do not turn up. He turns your stomach like. Yeah. Lots of people don't like Sam Smith, but you're not allowed to say that you don't like it. Sorry, don't like them. You're not allowed to say that because that's offensive. It's not. And while we're at it, right, there's been loads of stuff about women football commentators and women pundits on football, and Joey Barton's being a fucking knobhead as well as normal. There's no need for it. I don't like any of them at all, male or female, so I don't watch any of the pre-game, post-game and half-time stuff. Just watch the actual football and turn off. But if you want real equality, then people have got to be able to criticise the female commentators for being awful, right? Because if you don't, it's not equality. Some of them are absolutely piss poor, but then some of the males are as well. So you should be allowed to criticise any of them for what they are. Not just, you're not allowed to mention a word about her because she's a female. It's awful. Yeah, definitely transgender and impacting badly on the community. It's just, yeah, I can't be arsed with any of it, because I think it's unfair on people who really are genuinely struggling with who and what they are, and then looking for role models, and there he is. I think, what the fuck, what are you doing? If you're easily offended, you make for a better show. You do for everyone else. But yeah. But don't get offended and go to places like that. It's like not being able to swim and go into the baths, you know what I mean? I can't believe it. I went to a swimming pool and almost drowned. Why did you go in there? Can you swim? No. That's why you'd almost drowned, you soft bastard. I walked through a car wash wearing a super dry coat and I'm absolutely fucking soaking. I'm going to speak to my MP about this. Helmet. Casper, you'd love to sit front and centre at a Frankie Boyle gig. Man, you are a braver man than me. Gong it in. Yeah, but Ali, yeah, if you are trans and you want to be called something different, fine. And you should be given support by people. What you shouldn't be is then having to bend the entire world to your whim. I don't agree with that at all. For a very, very small sliver of society is making everything change just so it suits them. I don't like that idea of what's your pronouns. Well, I haven't got any because I don't talk about myself in the third person. And I'm not arrogant enough to dictate to other people how they should talk about me. Love Jimmy Carr and Frankie Boyle. Do you get offended by them? No. So you watch them. If you did, stop watching them. Your best commentator went to work for Sky Sports, Julia Stewart. We miss her. You're stuck with a gobshite. All our commentators and that are gobshites. Hate them. Yeah, just because he identifies with whatever that day, you're not allowed to dislike them. You should be allowed to dislike who you want to dislike. That's genuine. Treating people all the same. I hate some people who are straight, so I should be allowed to hate some people who are gay and some people who are transgender. It's not because they're gay or transgender, it's because they're horrible. I've had this conversation before with a few people actually. I will also say that most of the gobshites I've met in my life have been white males. Am I allowed to hate them? I should be because they're arseholes, but you know, should be allowed to hate whoever you want to hate for the right reasons. Hang on. I try and support as many people as possible. I think that's the best way to be. But you know, you like Roy Keane. Jackie, do you like Roy Keane or do you like Roy Keane? I quite like Roy Keane actually. Says it how it is, and also he's a miserable bastard. Quite like that. Like a miserable, angry Irish uncle. I can imagine saying these feckin' idiots quite a lot. Yes, in Victorian times the name Mary was a swear word for being gay. Yep. The only two sexes that I stop saying is 8. Yep. It does seem to get a little bit mad. Where does it end? Does non-binary have a hole or a pole? Oh dear me. The ones that dress up as fairies, they need help. It's a very strange subsect to fairies, isn't it? Apparently when they have conventions and things, there's a hell of a lot goes on there. Yeah, miserable gobshite. I like that he turned up in the Young Offenders though, that was good. Being a cork boy, he had to, didn't he? Lighting the loafers, yep. Speaking of miserable.
The Kippers Vindaloo. Can't be good for you.
Go to Kipper's Corner. Do we think this is going to work this week?
Kippers kicks ass.
Doggers abandon notorious condom-strewn lay-by as woodcarver opens roadside shop. A woodcarver who's been selling his goods in a lay-by known for dogging has been granted a licence to continue trading there after he claimed he'd seen off the Randy residents. Is that written in the 70s? I thought wood would be welcomed. Hoo-yah! Good point, Kippers. Good point, mate. Yeah, one of the people who've been born naturally as male or female, male and female, hermaphrodites. Yeah, it does happen, doesn't it? The human anatomy is so strange. We are a miracle anyway, but obviously if we're a miracle, there are going to be things that happen that defy normal logic. Jackie, you'd love to go dogging. You'd love to watch the watches. Right. You'd love to watch dogging or actually go dogging, because there's two different ways of looking at that, literally. We can order you a hire car if you want to go and test it out for yourself. Let us know how you got on, like, you know. I'm still convinced where I go and park up of a night. Well, not of a night. When I go down the front, I go to the beach. During the day, it's full of holiday makers. I'm convinced as soon as it gets dark down there, there's all kinds of filth going on. Convinced it is. Ainsdale was known for being a dogger's paradise. Go to Hampstead Heath. The only problem with going to Hampstead Heath is you'll be continually, as a male, continually harassed by Hollywood film stars. Not interested in the people getting up to noughties, more the people there to watch. So it's sort of like a human safari is what you're looking for, isn't it? What's with the British? Yeah, in laybys, you'll never get it. Well, you will do if you park in a lay-by long enough, Casper, to be honest. Don't know what it is. Is it seen as being exotic for Brits? No idea. Although the Italians are quite up for it as well, aren't they? Loads of Fiats parked on the side of roads with newspapers in the windows so you can't see in, and they're all bouncing up and down. And it's just, people understand what it is and don't really care about it, so it's not just us. Obviously, we take it a little bit further by having the windows open and people joining in and what have you, including Premiership footballers. Yeah. Jinxie, you would have seen a lot of that at the Devonish. Lots going on. Thank goodness for the videos. Casper, you don't see any dogging, but of course you see human centipedes in the forest pretty often. Yep. It's either one or the other, isn't it? You can't just go for a walk. There's always something going on. Always someone up to no good. Filthmongers. Absolute filthmongers. It took me ages to drink that coffee. I mean, ages. And I've still got me thermos of tea, which is red hot and that's freezing cold. What an absolute knob. Jackie, you've never seen jogging either. Man, you never lived. It must go on absolutely everywhere. I think it's possibly as well the British were so reserved, aren't we? The British and Irish. So reserved that that's your one little way of letting off steam, letting things go. Go to a car park and see what happens. More interested in the human behaviour. You see, now you could officially go there with a notebook and a pencil, writing in the margins, just tell people, I'm a sociologist. Carry on. It's for a study. I won't mention your real names, but I can guess it's going to be Darren and Sharon. Have you seen the watchers that watch the watchers? Put your coffee in the microwave. Jackie, I'm not American. Plus me tea's red hot. Watch this now, it's going to burn me face off, I can tell. Oh man, that is hot. That is hot. It's hotter than me coffee. Grab a coffee, we'll talk. It's like serial killers, it's the why, not the how or the what. Yes, dog in Inception territory there. Yeah, it is a bit scary. You've seen, no, have you seen? Yeah. Good correction. I did say correction there, by the way. Would be an interesting thing, wouldn't it, to interview a dogger? I wonder if we could do that. Maybe that's what I need to do to really boost the channel. Blur someone's face out and interview them. So, Darren and your wife Sharon, why do you come dogging? Is it for the camaraderie? Is it for the the social aspect of it? No, I just love watching people shagging. Ah, fair enough. Well, that'll be a very interesting one, trying to get that past the YouTube algorithm. YouTube can't figure out who to send this video forward to. You break the algorithm doing that. Why would you want to go dogging in the first place? I don't know. Ask them. Let's ask them. Let's go. I'll take me camera, me mic. We'll go out and we'll do some interviews. Why'd you do it? There must be some excitement side of it. I can imagine, can't you? The idea of being caught, or I don't know. Do the swingers ever go on outskirts and go tear up a lay-by? They might do, actually. Darren, yeah, the internet's down. I want my palm fix. Do swingers not have parties? They do. They have swingers parties. The difference is swingers is indoor, isn't it, and doggers is outside. I'm sure I've told the story. I had mates who used to come in the pub all the time who ended up working with, they were builders, and everywhere they used to go building around the northwest, Merseyside especially, people would always make them a cup of tea and a bacon butty or something, and occasionally get these snooty fuckers who'd never make them a cup of tea or offer them a drink or anything. And there was one couple who were absolutely horrible to me mate and his mate. So what he did is he went and bought him a plant as a housewarming, and this couple were absolutely delighted. Apparently, every other house in the cul-de-sac had this plant in the front garden, or in the window rather, and it meant that they were swingers. So they went and bought them one. Here you go, put that in the front. It looks lovely. Got their own back. United won by an 89th minute winner. Oh man. How did the ungodly get on? Oh well. The afterbirth are winning as well, aren't they? There you go. Regular car action and a party bus. The scream's only deafened by the smell. Eek, man. Am I the king of the swingers? I am the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and I've had to stop. I'm getting interviewed by the BBC. You once offered someone who never made you a cuppa from your flask. Yeah. It's the first thing we do in here. I think it's a really typically Scouse thing, is whenever anyone turns up to do a job, before they start, do you want a cuppa? Might give them like a biscuit or something as well, or something daft. Saf, you're out? No worries, mate. Tired as hell, I'm not surprised. You are, of course, way ahead of us, aren't you? As time zones go, I think Saf's about 4 days ahead of us. Let us know how Friday went. And we'll see you later. Be safe and be good. Yep, absolutely. We are getting a bit late, aren't we? So I'm going to have to go to Horace, I'm afraid. Could he be feeling a bit left out otherwise? It's an old films day. 60s black and white classics. I'm a happy bear. Hoo-yah! Oh, wasn't that nice? Clean as well for a change. I think obviously Jeff's left him alone. It's been up to no good. Stay safe and be good. Now that's the kind of thing. That's a bumper sticker, isn't it, for UK doggers? Stay safe and be good. If you can't be good, be quick. Just checking on my car. No, dogging. It's pissing down now. I think we just got the Irish weather turned up. Marvellous. But because we're right by the coast, it means that all the rain will be covered in sand as well. The car will be... I have to clean my car tomorrow with a bucket and spade. If you can't be very, very careful. Especially at the back of Tesco's car park, 4 o'clock in the morning. With Darren, Daz, Dazza and Da, and Sharon, Shaz, Shazza and Shazbot. I wonder if there's a most used car for dogging. Should we Google that and find out? What's the most popular car for dogging? It's not even in the suggested list. How's that not in the suggested list? Oh, here we go. This is on Runcorn and Widnes World, so I'm telling you, if anyone knows, these bastards do. Oh no, these are the top 10 cars to have sex in, so maybe it's halfway there. Volvo Estate. Steve, out Volvo Estate. What do you drive, mate? It's not just a Volvo Estate. By the time you finish, it's a Volvo in an absolute state. Anyone else got a guess as to what the most popular cars are to go Stan Collymooring in? I must do this in reverse, so to speak. Why are we talking about dogging? It come up, Steve. Just come up, mate. Here, people will be called Jimmy and Nick and so on, but I get the feeling the UK names are often abbreviated. Yeah. Steve, you drive a Transit or a Cougar. Steve likes a Cougar. Right, that works wonders. And your phone trains, it is your industry standard. You haven't got a Volvo Estate. Just checking. But now that you've mentioned the cars that you do have, do I need to worry about this? Let's go in reverse order. In at number 10, a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Plenty of space in there. At 9 is a Lexus RX. 8, a Volvo V70. There you go. That's a Volvo V70. They're estates, aren't they? 7, Toyota Prius, if you want to keep it green. Keep it mean and keep it green. 6, a Ford Focus. You really would need to focus, wouldn't you? At 5, an Audi A6. 4, a Porsche Cayenne. 3, a BMW 5 Series. 2, a Mercedes S-Class. And 1 is a Range Rover. This, to me, would it would suggest that dogging is a middle-class sport. I mean, come on. Toyota Prius. Not many people have got a Prius, have they, or a Prius, depending on where you're from. Unless you're a taxi driver. But then you don't go dogging, do you, if you're a taxi driver? You normally drop them off and wait round the corner. But your Range Rover, your S-Class, your 5 Series and Porsche Cayenne, that's quite middle class. Yeah, take a Cougar dogging. Mattress in the back. They're good cars, Cougars. You could fit a lot in there, couldn't you? A good, reliable Volkswagen Polo. But 1990, I had a 1995 Volkswagen Polo. I can assure you nothing happened in that, not even on solo drives. But that's Runcorn and Widnes. No one in Runcorn is driving around in a Porsche Cayenne. Very middle class. Don't tell a Swede if you, in Swedish cars, they're very prudish. Yorkshire has a list of over 400 cars that are involved in dogging. Is this like individual cars, Yorkshire Police? Have they got licence plates and all kinds of them? Steve is the mattress. Slap his belly and ride in on the waves. Naughty boy. Kirsty, levelled up, well done. Fantastic. Casper, your first car was a Polo from 1990. Does that mean you're speaking of experience? Ah, man. There's a forum called Piston Heads for obviously car people. There's an entire thread of best cars for dogging. Has anyone been dogging in the car was thinking a large MPV would be best? What? MX-5? What? Right, so there's a suggestion for what would be the best car to go dogging in. There we go. The Pope-mobile. It's a make with alloys. Topic is now closed. Yes, I'm not surprised. What? On Gumtree, 61 ads, used dogging car for sale. You can't genuinely. Can you see that? 58 ads, used dogging cars for sale. What on earth are people doing? What? The world's gone fucking mad. Jackie, your first car was a Toyota Starlet. Starlet, very, very good. Casper, definitely, yeah, the Polo was a dream factory for sexual intercourse, even for you. Was it in mint condition? The Pope-mobile. Did he ever get cross? Is there nothing to be said for seeing another mass? Yeah. What did he say? Come in here and kiss me ring. Is that how it goes with the Pope? Disgraceful behaviour. Putting the fun in fundamental Christian. Yeah. No bodily fluids on the seats, thank you very much. Steve, your first car was a 1985 Vauxhall Cavalier in beige. Now that is a wagon and a half. Proper. Mandy, my suggestions feed is now going to be interesting. Where do you think all this came from in the first place? I don't know if my YouTube suggestions are going to go even worse, because you know what Olga's like. You caught the Pope shitting in the woods, or was it a bear? And either way, you tubbed him in the car. Beige. A beige Cavalier, man. Can't go wrong with that. Did it have a darker brown vinyl roof? Did he sell vinyl roofs in the 80s? I can't remember. Why aren't there more beige cars? Yep. Mandy, Ali, anyone who's thinking about what my suggestions are going to be like, if anything strange pops up, I will let you know. I will let you know exactly what arrived. What I might do when I come off this is go on Auto Trader and see what that comes up with. No vinyl roof, but a brown interior. Oh man, Steve, that is a wagon, a Poussey wagon. Brown and beige. You sure it was 1985? Did you have a Vauxhall Cavalier back in 1974? I will let you know what's coming, Ali. I will. Considering what happened when I was talking to me boss in work one night, there was only me and her left in. Wait until 7 o'clock and we were bored, nothing to do, but had to do your hours. Like, all right, just sit and have a cup of tea and a chat. We talked about contact lenses. Neither of us have had them before. Neither of us have ever used them, and then for the next couple of days, both of us just kept getting contact lens adverts coming up on the phone. None of us, we hadn't Googled it, we hadn't done anything at all. We just talked about it, and the phone's picked up. It's always listening. Yep. Yes, good to differentiate there, Ali. There's a slight difference between both of them. Proper slip of the tongue, yep. I could have ruined my own algorithm there, couldn't I? Imagine trying to explain that to the police as well. We've took your mobile phone off you. Can you explain why all this is on your phone? Well, I was doing a stream on YouTube and we were talking about dogging, and the next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. That's the fact that there's used dogging cars on Gumtree. What the fucking hell's going on? I know it's 2024, but mad. It might help me. You never know, it might do. Does that mean it might help me? I could be married by next week, or I could be wearing a crown with King of the Doggers written on it. Polishing me Volvo V70. Porsche Cayenne. Maybe that's why it was called a Cayenne, because things get spicy in the back of there. Might be what it is. Why would you want to buy a dogging car? Jackie, I would love to buy one, and I tell you why. Right, I've got cameras, I've got a YouTube channel. All I need to do then is buy a black light and then go and do CSI. I don't know. What was the car we were looking at? CSI BMW. Just go in there and see how much DNA I can find. You're at your parents one day and you're watching something on YouTube, something you've never watched, and yet when you get home, that video was recommended. They're always listening constantly. I know my mate used to go round to his mates, and whenever he wasn't looking, he'd look up gay porn on his laptop. Never watch it, just start clicking on a couple of videos and then get rid of it, just so it was constantly suggested to him, and he had no idea why it was happening. Don't think he ever found out. Used to love all that. Those little stupid things that you do with your mates. We had there's a very famous sexual predator in Liverpool called Purple Aki, black fella. Called purple because of the colour of his skin. He looks so dark he's almost purple, so it's a fairly racist thing to be calling him, but that's what he's known by, and everyone in the northwest knows him. Touching people's muscles and things like that. He was in the paper one day and we cut out a picture of him and put it in me mate's got a locket, or sorry, my mate's wife, his wife now has got a locket, and we put Purple Aki's picture in there over the top of someone else's picture. And it took her about 2 years before she opened it one day and asked, why is there a picture of Purple Aki in there? Like, what? Very, very famous, Ali, very famous. The Warrington Wolves Rugby League club got an order out against him, stopping him from getting anywhere near the training ground because he was worrying the rugby league players. You know, these are real tough lads fighting on the pitch and all kinds. And this 6'5", 19 stone sexual predator was worrying them. He likes to touch people's muscles and get them to flex and things. Very, very dangerous. When I was a kid, mid-80s, someone would shout, "There's Aki," and everyone would run. And it'd be really, really worrying. That's exactly the kind of stuff you need to do. Look up sexy underwear. And then having worrying sick about where on earth is this coming from. Adam, how you doing, mate? You missed me coffee during the stream. Why wasn't he in prison? He has been a couple of times, but he's also been let out. A couple of times he was let out on like technicalities and things, and straight away he was banned from. Mandy, you should know him. North Wales. He was banned from half the towns in North Wales for doing that. He's always seen around Manchester, Liverpool, Rail, Llandudno, just Warrington, yeah, all around the northwest and North Wales. And as soon as he's not allowed to go somewhere for the next 2 years, he disappeared to another town, worry them, and then as soon as it dropped off somewhere else, he'd go back there. Be in Blackpool and Preston and all kinds of places. Yeah, we were talking about dogging. Those were the days before the old chap went to bed. Adam, I have been looking online. Apparently you can buy used dogging cars on Gumtree. It's an actual thing. Used dogging cars. Never heard of him. What? You can't mess him. He's massive. Absolutely massive. They even did a BBC thing about this famous predator, and I think he got interviewed. I'm not as bad as they make out, and about 2 months later he was getting someone to do a reverse squat on him. Yeah, you do like purple, you'd love him. You should know the local predators. That's be the sort of guy the other day used to live in your town. You knew instantly who he was. Ugh. That's disgusting, that, isn't it? But your age, horrible. Horrific. People like that need to be volleyed all over the place. You love Gumtree? Well, seriously, check it out. Get yourself on there and look for used dogging cars. You might find yourself a real bargain. You know what I mean? It might take you a couple of weeks to clean it up, but you might get a bargain. Very few miles on the clock. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You just turn up, park, and that's it. 2 miles there, 2 miles back. Maybe a mile to get to Tesco to get some wet wipes and what have you. Used dogging cars. Let's have a look again. In case that was... No, I'm sure that happened, didn't it? Here we go, Adam. 58 ads for used dogging cars in the UK. One of which... Oh, look at that. We need to buy that one. It's in Middlesbrough as well. Dog grooming van. Yeah, dog grooming van. I'd buy that. I would genuinely buy that. Take my camera out. Couple of mics. By that I mean microphones, not fellas called Mike, you know what I mean? And then just go and find dogging spots and try and interview people. That's boss, I want that. 15 grand, 14,999 or nearest offer. Rule 34 all over again, yeah. Any in Northern Ireland. If not, Jackie, we'll sort you one out. You'll be a trendsetter. Pool in Dorset, Liverpool, Merseyside. Oh, there's a couple in Tower Hamlets. Droylsden in Manchester seems to be quite good for them as well. Isle of Dogs. More Tower Hamlets. More pool in Dorset. All I can say now is pool in Dorset seems to be a very, very heavily dogging area. This is an ex-police dog, canine unit. I don't think it's the right kind of dog in that one. More Isle of Dogs as well. Tower Hamlets, Isle of Dogs. Is there a police thing on the Isle of Dogs? Is that where they're based or something? Why is there so many jogging cars on the Isle of Dogs? Isle of Dogs, there you go, that's why, isn't it? Not bad. Tower Hamlets, though. Ooh, very nice. No, not on Northern Ireland by the look of it. Why, do you want one? It is the van from Dumb and Dumber. I'm pretty sure that's where they got the idea from, Steve. Definitely. Yep, Jackie, a multi-million-pound business in used Allens. Very popular, apparently. So I'm led to believe. Yeah, I can imagine Jackie and Mandy getting a show together on BBC Two, doing up old dogging cars and taking them up the hills. That would, yeah, Escape to the Country. That would definitely, that's a goer. There's no Top Gear anymore, is there? Thought Dorset was fancy, very fancy, but it's got sand dunes because they're very popular apparently. Orange MGs are apparently popular for dogging as well, right? I wonder if there's a variation around the country, more popular in certain areas. Pimp my dogging car. See, somewhere on Sky, there's got to be someone who's watching this with a channel thinking, this is a goer, this has got legs. And what you do to pimp a dogging card, you take a normal one and have it like wiped downable, put loads of vinyl in the back so you can just hose it out afterwards. Look for the clogging and ducking, it's time for dogging. Yep. I like that. Good evening, I'm in Inverness and my balls are freezing cold. Even did a larder last week. Wonder what the average age of the UK dogger is. In for a penny, in for a pound. See what Google says. Average age for the UK, 80. No, hang on, I haven't put dogger in yet. Nope. It doesn't tell you. Gives you a life expectancy. And birth characteristics. I don't think that's a birth characteristic, being a dogger, to be honest. You imagine young and nimble, Jackie. Young and nimble. Is that what you imagine, or is this what you plan with your Northern Ireland dog wagon? Yeah, I've just been saying this, Adam. The ads that I'm going to start getting on Google. Lots of wipe clean fabrics and dog leads. Well, I've already got wipes. So like we're sort of halfway there, aren't we? Reminds me, actually, I need to get my car detailed and valeted. A child of 1970. Steve, I love the thinking there, mate. You've got a van. This is Steve with a transit van, by the way. The suggestion from Steve with a transit van is if you got a van, you could have a glory hole in the bulkhead. You could have. If Steve disappears for the next couple of days, and all you hear is hacksaws and sawing and things like that, doing like the A-Team. You're never too old for dogging, like. You're never too old for it. I'm pretty sure fairly much all ages will be covered for within that particular niche. Is it a niche? Oh, glory holes popular. I think they're pretty much popular with the people who are utilising them. I don't think. Would you ever trust one? I'm asking the gentleman here. Would you ever trust one, or would you think that there might be a lunatic on the other side with sharp teeth or with a swinging blade on it or something? Or a guillotine, a willietine. And then as it slices you in half, Vive la France. What's the best dog in music? Oh, not Luther Vandross, no. I don't know. Bit of Barry White. You're the first, you're the last. My everything, my everything. Anything with a bit of bass to cover the sound of Shazza and Dazza screaming. You don't know who you're getting. You don't. It could be anyone. Could be anyone. That's the potluck though, isn't it? It's like doing the lottery. Could be a stunner. Could be a next door neighbour. Could be the priest who let the dogs out. Reminds you of Prague. Yeah. Probably the man who did active service in the last war with his dentures out. That somebody's watching me. It was that Rock. What was his fucking name? Rockwell, was it? Michael Jackson doing backing vocals. That would be a good one, actually. Yeah, Mandy, we're having that one. That's number 1 on the playlist. Oh, you know what? Sorry. You're watching the birth of a podcast right now. Rockwell. Add to playlist. New playlist. Playlist name. Dogging. There we go. I'm going to get more and more of these. We can add more to the playlist, and then I will do a podcast as the theme will be dogging songs. Who, yeah. Who are you? Who? I really want to know. Never seen a glory hole in its active service. Don't think I've ever seen one in active or inactive service. See one on the side of his house on Google Earth or Google Girth. Jackie, you've never seen one either. Yeah, go on. You keep telling yourself that. Story a couple of weeks ago. Stag and hen group in Amsterdam. The bloke was getting sorted out and the light came on and he realised it was his daughter. Oh, Jesus. You wouldn't be wanting that, would you? That's the kind of thing that doesn't matter how many psychiatrists there are in the world, you are never ever going to get over that one. Ali, you're off. No worries. See you later. Thank you very much. We've run over again, haven't we? See how interesting talking is. I should do this, shouldn't I, all the time? Just talk about dogging and fine dogging cars, and then we'll do 7-hour streams every day. Fantastic. Yeah. Christmas dinner will never be the same again. Would you like to pull a cracker? Oh, God, no, God, no. Yeah, I think it is time, isn't it? We've been on too long already. Far too long. So, I'll set another one up for Sunday. Obviously, Sunday we can't possibly talk about stuff like this. We'll all be burned and sent to hell. But yep. Cheers. Thank you very, very much. Night to everyone. You've been fantastic as always. I love spending time with you. And remember,
that's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night. Good night.
And that's that.
Hoo-yah!